Hi, I'm Kathleen Rockney, and this is Monday Mindset. And this is a whole new world. So this is a whole different kind of Monday Mindset. As I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about today and give you a mindset, inspire you, I felt for a while the weight of the world on my shoulders. Because the reality is, all I really want is that you are okay, that you are well, that you are going to be okay. And when you go into that mode, yes, part of Monday Mindset is going to be about your USANA business. But the more important part of Monday Mindset is that you have a mindset that serves you through this chaotic, strange new world. So I'm not going to give you a ton of tips about your business, but I will start out with the business. Your USANA business is precious. It can be residual once you build it. So in times like these, those who have gotten it to a residual level are feeling a little bit of relief. But if you haven't yet, that is okay. This may or may not be the time to build. I'll tell you what I am going to concentrate on. I'm not going to be selling. I'm not going to be doing a ton of posts about all the specials and all the great things that USANA can do for your immune system, though they are true and they are important. But what I'm going to do is spend my time, I'm cocooned, just like most of the rest of the United States, and I'm going to start to reach out to those people that are my downline, my customers, my friends who aren't yet my customers, and people that I care about that aren't yet my customers. And I'm going to be reaching out by text and by phone, one at a time, as I feel I can, to just simply say, how are you? And if the conversation does not lead to USANA, that's fine. I'm not going to pad the conversation with, boy, I'm glad I'm on USANA because I don't have to worry as much. This is not the time to gloat. This is the time to serve. And even with that little bit of movement, you may get some increase in sales, and that would be great. But during this critical time of cocooning, it's more important that you genuinely care about your well-being, your immediate family's well-being, and the well-being of each person that you talk with. If you cannot make that phone call or text yet, in a spirit of giving, just don't. And don't worry about it until you are in that spirit of giving. So another thing that really weighed on my shoulders was that I know that some of you are not yet cocooning. You are not yet sheltering in place. You are not yet doing social distancing. Maybe you're feeling rebellious. I'm wanting to somehow shift that in you. Let's just say this is just the flu. As a kind human being with a flu epidemic, you would be social distancing. So I'm going to tell you, this ain't just the flu. And we've already had some USANA people talk about it. Dr. Live McNamara has talked about it. There have been other people that have talked about it. This is a virus that has not yet been out there. We have not yet been exposed to it. We are not, as USANA consumers, immune to it. And depending on what your past lung history has been, if you have type 2 diabetes, if you have heart conditions, as a USANA consumer, you may not be immune to the complications either. So I want you to take this seriously, no matter where you're starting at right now. Let me briefly just explain to you where I'm at. I'm in Southern California. I went to my regularly scheduled class at my favorite yoga studio on Tuesday of last week. We all already did social distancing. They preset the mats 10 feet apart. There were no hugs. There were kindnesses, but we were also limited to 10 people per class. 5 or 6 showed up. And then the yoga studio on Wednesday sent out an email saying we are shutting down in preparation for what needs to happen in California. So California did pretty much start social distancing on St. Patrick's Day. We were alerted to it the day before. So I am in the high risk category. I am 67 years old, 67 years young, but I've had years and years in the past, in the 90s, of chronic Epstein-Barr virus. And even now, when I get a bad cold, which does not happen often, it can go to bronchitis or something like that, or a sinus infection. So my taking care of me is about being in my house, only going out for the rare errand to a grocery store when my husband can't, and pretty much letting him do a lot of the chores, knowing that he may be bringing something into the house. So the minute he comes into the house, he washes his hands thoroughly. What I've experienced is actually moments of a little bit of relief because my life has slowed down. I don't have to worry about an alarm clock to wake me up in the morning. I'm not trying to get to that exercise class and need the alarm. My husband is in one of the 16 sectors in California that are considered required and important and must stay open or should stay open. He's in the food sector. He's part of the food delivery chain. Even with that, he's 70 years old. They are social distancing in his office. And as we speak, he's considering going in just for a few hours to check on food product, do a few critical calls, and then get himself back home. There are silver linings. For those of you that haven't yet started, when you slow down, there's some relief, there's some healing, there's some calmness that happens. I will also readily admit that I did try 2 times to go to the grocery store to get stuff. Target with my husband, social distancing very well, not even going down an aisle if someone else was on that aisle. But the shock of seeing all of the shelves that had paper products empty was a kick in the gut. Seeing that at Target, all we could get were 2 very small things, dish liquid, was a shock. Then on my own, I went to Sprouts, which is like a Trader Joe's. A couple of days later, there were still no eggs. I don't go to Sprouts for paper products. I didn't worry about that, but no eggs, no dairy, no almond milk. But guess what there was? A lot of fresh produce. So I got a little bit of fresh produce. There was almost nothing in the meat section. People are still hoarding that. And in Sprouts, I started crying. I posted this on Facebook. I started crying. At that very moment, my husband called me from another grocery store, Ralph's, and said, "How are you doing?" And as I responded to him, he said, "You're crying, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And I put my sunglasses on while I talked to him so nobody else could see I was crying. And he said, "Well, let me give you some good news. I found pasture-raised eggs at Ralph's." Yay. We were completely out of eggs. And he found a couple other things at Ralph's. He found broccoli Sprouts was out of broccoli. And he found a couple of other things. And I said, thank you for letting me know. I will now take my few items that I've found and go to the checkout. I did. I went into my car, and in the comfort and quiet and privacy of my car, I sobbed for a few minutes, got it out. And then when I went home, I actually put it on Facebook, because one of my superpowers is knowing when to post something that's vulnerable that can help others. And it did. My post started getting other people saying, yes, I broke into tears in front of Stater Brothers. I broke into tears when I got back into my car. There is a sadness and a fear. But I will let you know, there is so much that is beautiful. There are no sports on TV, so my husband and I are having more moments of talking. He goes outside. We have a beautiful backyard, and the weather in general is very good in California right now. And I see him sitting out there, and I haven't seen him sitting out there for a while. And what am I drawn to do? Go out and join him with a little cup of tea, and we just sit and we talk. So there are silver linings. So, again, I'm not going to hound you about your USANA business. Your Monday mindset is about taking care of you first, then your loved ones, then whoever you can after that. And one of the primary ways you can do that is with social distancing and with quarantining if you don't feel well. Now I'm going to tell you about a couple of other things that I think could be cool for you to do. We in USANA have great blood. If you are feeling very healthy, I highly recommend you call your American Red Cross and say, are you open for business, and do your local blood banks need blood? And donate. If you're a person who knows how to sew and you have a sewing machine, call your local American Red Cross or call your local hospital and say, do you need surgical masks? And if they say yes, ask for the ideal pattern for their needs. Different hospitals want different needs. And then go on to Amazon or go on to your favorite fabric store's online website, order up some fabric and some supplies, and start helping that way. Do what you can. Now, Ask the Scientist, just within the last week or so, had an article on immune boosting habits. And I took it and I paraphrased it for a news article that I did for a women's club that I'm in. And I'm just going to run through some of these. Again, this came from Ask the Scientist. The best thing you can do right now is high quality sleep. And because you may or may not be going to work, if you're not in one of the 16 critical sectors, you may or may not be needing that alarm clock. Allow yourself to sleep in. What I noticed about last week, and I'm over it now, but during that critical emotional period last week, I was sleeping 10 hours at night and taking at least an hour nap in the afternoon. I was crashing. Allow yourself to do that. This is the best way for your body to heal. And also do whatever you can to make that sleep as worry-free and as toxin-free as possible. If you still have a healthy home book, go to the bedroom section and look at what you can do in your bedroom to make it as toxin-free as possible. What we've done in our house, we can't turn our Wi-Fi off because it's tied to our security system. But I put the Wi-Fi extender outside of my bedroom door, and when I do take my phone into the bedroom with me for emergencies, but I turn Wi-Fi off. So it goes to our Verizon carrier if someone does need to call me. I have a 90-year-old mother in Missouri, so I'm not wanting to have my phone off or out of the room. But the Wi-Fi is turned off of my phone. That helps. Okay, moderate exercise. All of the gyms in our area are closed. All of the gyms in your area should be closed. If they're not, don't go. We just heard of a Senator, Rand Paul, who has tested positive for coronavirus. While he was awaiting his blood test results, he went to the gym. Do not do that. He also went swimming around other people. He also went to lunch, knowing he was awaiting blood test results. He is not experiencing symptoms. He is a carrier. So don't go to the gym. So your moderate exercise is going to be going through YouTube, finding some videos that could be really cool to use, and you can go outside. In California, we are going outside, but doing social distancing. So I can walk around my block, I can walk around the neighborhood, I can walk in a park, I can go to the beach. I just have to be at least 10 feet away from anyone not in my household. And the only one in my household is my husband. So moderate exercise is wonderful. And then as the scientists, they said it does help build your immune system and it does increase circulation. So do it. Good hygiene. There are no hand sanitizers around. There are no hand wipes around. But we in USANA know that antibacterial hand wipes are not necessarily the healthiest for us anyway. So what Bill and I are doing, my husband and I, we're doing a lot of washing hands. The minute he comes home from work, his shoes are off because we have a no shoes policy in the house. And he goes and he washes his hands and he washes his hands. He washes his hands with lots of soap and warm water. Rubbing. That breaks down, I was reading just today, it breaks down the membranes of the coronavirus and many other viruses so that if there is something on your hands, it's broken apart. You're flushing it down. So good hygiene is critical frequently. Before I eat, and we are still doing some carry out. Before I eat, I'm washing. Okay. Relaxing. Stress hormones are going to hamper your immune system. So, and one clear example of that is all of us who still went through chickenpox or had a chickenpox virus. We have chickenpox virus in our systems. In extreme times of stress, that can reemerge as shingles. So viruses that are already in your body, Epstein-Barr virus, can reemerge when you're highly stressed. This can, for a period of time, with you and with the entire collective, be a high-stress time. Do whatever works for you to calm that. Prayer, meditation, soothing music, staying away from hyperactive people, even online. Stepping away from the news for a short period of time. Whatever you need to do. Pets, this was interesting, and this was asked the scientist saying this. Your pets actually serve you in more ways than just calming you. They have different microbiome systems that help your immune system stay healthier. So go ahead and continue to hug those pets. We have 2 cats. We adore them. Avoid alcohol and cigarettes. Now, though it could increase your stress, now might be the time while you're cocooning to completely stop smoking. Anyone with a compromised lung system is part of the much higher risk category. Now may be the time to stop. Do whatever you need to do. Go onto YouTube and find stop smoking videos. Whatever you need to do. Ask your collective family, ask your Facebook community to help give you good vibes to stop smoking now. Smoking is not in moderation. It is a stop, please. Alcohol can be done in extreme moderation, but just know, and what they said in NASA scientists is that the consumption of alcohol changes your mouth lining and your throat lining that may allow some viruses through. Smoking does the same thing. Also, the sugar content of alcohol compromises your gut microbiome. Now is the time to stop sugar as well. Extreme moderation. And that means natural honey. It is a sugar. It's not the sugar's process that hurts you. It's that sugar raises your blood sugar, kicks off the pancreas, kicks off the brain, kicks off insulin, and it does change your microbiome. And your microbiome will scream for a little while when you get off of it. Now's the time to do it. I've got friends on Facebook that are saying, I'm going through reset. Now might be the time to do that. Okay. Be adventurous. There is something about being adventurous that shifts your microbiome in a healthy way. Being adventurous can be that you decide, okay, in one of our rare trips to the grocery store, let's try some new vegetables and some new proteins. Try some new fish. Definitely go grass-fed for your beef. Definitely go organic and pasture-raised for your chicken, for your turkey, whatever your food sources are. Now's the time to expand them within your belief system. And with vegetables, that means sky is the limit. That will help. Now, because even with cocooning, you can go outside, be adventurous. Try to do more brisk walking and then slow walking. Try to find new places to go, but still doing social distancing. If you've got a lake, walk around that lake. We've got the beach. We're walking down to the beach. Do what you can to kick it up into a different angle. Even if all you can do is be at home and go onto YouTube and find a video of moves you haven't done for a while that are safe, do it. Be adventurous. And take this cocooning seriously. It's not going to last forever. You won't be in hug deprivation mode forever. But this is the time to save lives, starting with yours and your family. But this is about saving lives. I had a talk with my 90-year-old mother on the day that I crashed and burned after going to the grocery store and seeing how little was there. And I said, Mom, did you experience this ever? She was too young to have experienced the complete deprivation of grocery stores in the 20s. She was born in 29. But she said there were times during World War II when they did rationing. And she said, but you know what? It was, we're all in this together. The rationing was understood. And nobody hoarded. Well, just because of how news came out and because of different people's belief systems and different people's triggers, we have had hoarding. There have been photos of people who filled their garages with hand sanitizers because they wanted to get it and make a profit. And unfortunately, we're all temporarily paying the price. I just went online to check on, there's a smart thermometer that's helping to track coronavirus breakouts in real time, because they know if a person has a fever for 3 or 4 days over 100, chances are they do have it. Well, guess what? People have hoarded those thermometers, and they're now trying to sell them for over $100, and that's just crazy. So what my mom said that stuck with me was, we're all in this together. We are all in this together. It's like World War II. Some of us are getting bombed. Seattle is getting bombed. New York City right now is just getting bombed with cases. But we're all in this together. And the actions we take, just like the actions they did in World War II, people donating rubber tires to help build airplanes. Well, now today, we can give blood, We can, if we have a sewing machine, help make surgical masks. We cannot hoard. We can let our neighbors know, hey, I have a lemon tree outside. I'm going to pile a ton of lemons in a bag, put it out on my front porch, and anybody in the neighborhood who needs lemons, come by and take what you need. There are so many things we can do. And you know what that's going to do? It's going to make us feel better. Our stress hormones are going to go down. Our microbiome are going to be happy. And our USANA business will thrive when we have the time to again pay attention to it. This is me telling you that what I care about most is that you are okay. Much love and light to all of you. And I hope this helps you with a Monday mindset that serves